What's up, guys? Welcome back to the ranch. All right, ranchers, it's winter, and in December I had a lot of snow load on my miscanthus grass and my chestnut trees, a heavy wet snow, and sadly my chestnut tree snapped at the top. Sometimes you gotta walk your land and check things out. So this snap, as you can see, is a big snap. It's gonna set me back a bunch. The base of the tree is great, but we need to get in here and do a little bit of repairs while the tree is in dormancy to help prevent it from getting infected with some sort of disease in the spring or just dying back, and trying to keep these limbs that are partially attached alive and just clean cut them off. All right, let's dive in, and I'm gonna show you what's going on in here on this damaged chestnut tree. So this was my fault. Early on in growing and fruit tree maintenance, when you see a split on your main lead like this, you need to make a decision and pick one of the two leads and cut it off. So I didn't do that. I was a little lax. I felt like they were both okay, and I thought a crotch at like 3 feet tall would be okay to keep the tree strong. But I guess I was wrong, because I got this big break off and I got it broken off on my main lead. I lost a lot here, but we can't leave this like this. We got to get in here with some clean shears to not spread disease, something like a pruner, and get rid of these and make a clean cut in here. You might even need a little bit of a saw for this one. I might have to get a saw. I'm going to see if I can do it with the shears and take it from there. But remember, pruning fruit trees is great to do in the winter while they're dormant. They're asleep. Everything is down in the roots. The roots are growing. And this would have been a better time to prune this tree a couple of years ago and take this smaller lead off to allow for my big lead that now has broke to be fatter. So it would have probably been thicker and more girthier to the top of the tree, maybe preventing the snow load from breaking it. But now the tree's got to be set back, and we got to clean it up so it can grow even better this spring. So I'm taking my shears right at where this is snapped off, and I'm going to make a fresh cut and get this branch off. Kind of came off right there. Let me get rid of this goldenrod here so you can maybe see a little bit better. Winter trimming is really great for apple trees, fruit trees in general. They're dormant. They'll grow, and thank you for it. So now I have this last big lead here, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to come in and snip it and get it set back and drop my shears right into the middle of the tree cage. All right, so I'm going to just come in with my shears and take it from the crotch and just cut it off and allow it to come off clean. Really probably could have used the saw on this. I'm a little unprepared. I didn't think I would have to trim something so big, but I'm not going back to the house, to the camp. I'm gonna get this done with this. So sadly, this just gets tossed, this big limb. Look at this thing. Man, we lost like, let's see, 4 feet. That's terrible, but we're gonna cut it off and help the tree make it into next season even better. All right. I really should probably come in and cut back this main lead all the way back, but it's got a couple of nice branches. So I'm gonna leave it for the moment and keep my tie on it, and everything else looks okay. Everything else looks okay. I'll just go with that for now. So I got this raw open face cut here, and that's not really great. It leaves the tree open for disease and stuff. So I really should come in here with a saw and cut the top off of this lead and let this tree kind of reset itself from this spot. It'll probably die back. But because it has this nice branch coming off, I'm gonna leave it and see what happens. But I can't leave the wound that way. So I'm going to use a little bit of this tree sealer. This tree sealer, if you've never seen it, it's like a paint-on natural herbal tar kind of. And what it does is it'll seal this wound and prevent infection and prevent disease from getting in there. And just when the tree comes back alive and sends up all the sap, it'll stop and not weep out the sap. And all I'm going to do is paint this on nice and thick all over the top of this cut and damage. You could do this on any sort of damages you get on any sort of tree, fruit tree, or clipping. And this stuff is pretty tarry. So, you know, paint it on nice and thick, and wherever you seal it, it helps protect it. It hardens and stays black like this in a pretty short while. Just really get the whole wound. And that'll prevent the tree from being sick when it comes back to life, or it wakes up, I should say, in the spring. So that's sealing a tree wound or a cut on a tree to help it heal. And I'm going to just check some other stuff while I'm out here on my fruit trees, do a little pruning, a little sealing on my pruning, and take it from there. But this chestnut tree set back a bit, but I'm hoping now it's sealed up. It'll wake up and do very well in the spring. And there it is, all sealed.